All right, happy Thursday, Houston. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro. We are going to start off our 10-minute weather stream with a look back at June. We're almost done with the month, and it's been a pretty hot one. So far, we've had 19 days that have been above average. We've only had one day that's been seasonably average, and then 5 below. Yesterday was actually one of those days. We maxed out at 89. Average for this time of year should be 93. And we had that little drop in temperature because of the rain. So all the activity that we've seen has allowed for some rain-cooled air to filter into the area, but all in all, it's been pretty warm. And so far, the rain accumulation hasn't been that substantial. So throughout at least the majority of the month, we've only seen about 4.5 inches of rain, and that's about ½ an inch off from where we should be for this time of year. Now, this is data from Bush Intercontinental Airport. That's our official recording station. Of course, there are many pockets in between there that do receive a ton of rain with those heavier bands that fall on top of us. But since we use this to keep records, on average, we haven't seen that much rain. Radar right now showing us a couple more storms filtering in for this afternoon. Right now favoring our western cities and counties, so riding up from Matagorda to Wharton, Colorado, and then pushing into Washington and Austin counties too. So those are the areas that are getting some good, decent downpours. Otherwise though, it's pretty quiet. Radar right now not showing us too much activity. Let me take you in a little bit closer to some of those cells that are trying to work in closer to, let's say, 288 and Sugarland. There was a little bit of lightning just in the Fresno area, but that's fizzled out. You'll notice this lone shower doesn't have a ton of energy with it. In fact, it's probably going to fizzle out before it even gets to Sugarland. And then Loop looks clear right now. A little sprinkle near Bel Air. That's nothing to write home about. And a couple showers near Atascocita over the last 2 hours or so, but those have fizzled out. Other than that, a lone shower trying to work its way towards Roman Forest, and if we get up towards 5969, Shepherd's got some rain, and that's pretty much it. Everywhere else, it is fairly quiet starting off the day. We will see that pick up the pace a little bit more. In fact, your rain potential is going to pick up today, but for your Friday and Saturday, it actually drops off. So we're going to have a little bit of a staggered rain chance potential. We ramp it back up Sunday into Monday. You'll notice a little bit more coverage and a little bit more intensity. This is a snapshot that the future track models take right in the afternoon. So that is when I think we will have a chance for some more storms. That's typical for this time of year. We get the peak heating of the day, we get the humidity, and the sea breeze lifts it all up and brings us a chance for storms. So planning out your weekend, if you're thinking, should I do my outdoor activity Saturday or Sunday? I think you should do them on Saturday because the majority of the day is just going to feature a mixture of sun and clouds. Your rain potential Saturday is only at 20%. Sunday, that's when I think you'll see a little bit more activity on radar. I'm hiking that rain chance up to 40%. So Saturday is good for outdoor activities. You can still have some plans on Sunday. You just have to be mindful of radar and be ready to head inside, especially if there's lightning on radar. Future track shows us Saturday afternoon at noon time. So as you're having lunch, that's when we start to see the sea breeze kick up a few showers. They'll be pretty scattered though, so not a ton of coverage, and they will fizzle out by 6 o'clock. So if you are going to anything exciting Saturday night, say like the Beyonce concert, which starts at 7 o'clock, I don't have tickets, I wish I did. But if I were going, I would be happy because look at that. By 6, the rain wraps up, so you don't have to worry about getting soaked as you're trying to go to and from the concert. Current temperatures right now, we are hovering in the mid and upper 80s. So if you're in Sugar Land, you're at 84 degrees. If you're at Hobby, you're a little bit hotter, 89. 89 also in Conroe, and Galveston is sitting at 88 degrees. You'll notice there is a lot of cloud cover starting to build in, and that's just indicative that our atmosphere is juiced up. We are ready to rock with some more storms this afternoon. So when are those going to start to pick up the pace? Again, I think right after 1 o'clock all the way through your commute home. That's the highest likelihood of you seeing some rain. That high temperature today makes it up to 92 degrees. This is what it looks like on Future Track. So as we work into the later afternoon hours, 2:30, that's when we start to see some more showers building in, and they stay in the vicinity at least until 6:30. You'll notice Harris County's got a chance to see showers at least for about a 4-hour window, 2 to 6. A lone shower may still linger as late as 9 o'clock tonight. The models are favoring the Bay for the highest chance of that happening. And then, of course, we quiet down at night and we have a quiet start to your Friday. I think actually Friday afternoon will be fairly quiet too. Again, only a 20% chance for storms then. Saturday looked good. We saw that on Future Track. And then Sunday, do plan to keep your umbrella handy. This is a snapshot of Sunday. So, not all that impressive, but there is better coverage and maybe a little more intensity. I gauge the intensity on our Future Track models when I start to see those yellows, those oranges. Notice there's a lot more of that to our east, but we could still see 1 or 2 flare-ups even here in town. Monday, a lot of the activity in our outskirts. However, we could see 1 or 2 of those heavier downpours right here in H-Town. So Sunday and Monday are going to be the days that are the wettest for us. And then look at what happens as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. There's plenty of activity all around us, but we've got this big gaping hole. It's like missing data. And that continues into Wednesday. Well, it's not missing data. Something is happening in the Gulf as we head into next week. And it is the Saharan dust. Okay, it's coming off the west coast of Africa. It's trekking through the Atlantic, which is good for hurricane season. And then eventually, though, it gets into the Gulf, and it is going to be pretty thick and parked right over us. So that is going to allow those rain chances to go down. Why is that? Well, not only is it dusty air, it is very dry air. So that is going to take out the moisture and the potential of precipitable water. So the likelihood of rain coming down on us. But the trade-off here is that it is likely going to impact our air quality a little bit. So I'll keep an eye on that. We take the good with the bad though, because the good is very good. Saharan dust does suppress tropical activity like I talked about this time of year, and luckily we are not expecting anything in the tropics for the next 2 to 7 days. So that is good news there. You could go about your weekend plans, or hey, maybe even if you had some vacation plans in the Caribbean or in Mexico, you don't have to watch for any tropical systems. What you will have to watch though, again, next week is going to be the potential of some flare-ups with our allergies and just reduced air quality in general. Allergies have been bothering a lot of us this week, actually, and myself included. So here are the culprits. It's not tree pollen, it's not grass pollen. There's a little bit of weeds out there. However, it is the high mold spore count that I think is affecting quite a few of us. So if you've been curious as to what's going around, that's probably what it is. Okay, let's walk you through that 7-day forecast nice and slow so I can help you plan out not just the rest of the week, but the weekend ahead, and of course next week too. Maybe you're taking a couple days off next week in anticipation for the 4th of July. So today, really similar to yesterday. Scattered storms in the afternoon, mixture of sun and clouds, pretty hot, pretty humid, standard. Friday and Saturday, those days, I think the rain is actually going to be pretty isolated. You'll see a little bit more sunshine and a little bit more heat because of that too. So high temperatures 94, 93. Activities on Saturday, I don't think will be too impacted by the rain. So we got the Pride Parade, we've got the Beyonce concert. I think both of those are going to be pretty good. On Sunday, we do start to kick up the rain chances a little bit. I actually might call this scattered instead of isolated. And that's because we're going to have a disturbance that's going to be riding along the upper Texas coastline. So that does bring us a chance for a couple more downpours. Those downpours could continue into Monday. It's going to be tricky though. Monday, we might either keep those rain chances or drop them a little bit. It just depends on the timing of that Saharan dust. As soon as that dust gets here, that is when those rain chances completely drop off. So what you're going to notice as we head into the start of the week is our skies get a much more hazy. It's going to be that milky skyline. It's not blue. It's pretty white or grayish. That's that Saharan air layer on top of us. It does kick down the moisture, but that does kick up the heat. So I think those temperatures next week are going to be a little bit more toasty. So 96 forecasted for your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's about 3 degrees above average for this time of year. Nothing crazy, but definitely feeling like summer at this point. Okay, that is all for your 10-minute update today. I will have another one for you tomorrow. And guess what? Tomorrow, I'll talk to you about the 4th of July forecast. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.